one nation, under God.
Liberty and justice for all.
Well,
Can I have a roll call, please?
Sure. Brian,
here,
present on Zoom. We got Jerry, John, Justin,
Here.
and Lexi.
Need a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second.
Brian, I.
Justin, aye. John, here.
Motion carries as approved. We'll open it now for citizen comment. Anyone online, Marcy, besides Brad?
Nope,
What'd you say?
nobody besides Brian online.
We're open for citizen comment, and I wanted to see if anybody was online besides you, Brian.
Gotcha.
Well, close citizen comment. Consent agenda, wow. Anyone have any questions about anything in the consent agenda? Was all good, I checked them earlier.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda. I'll second.
Brian, I.
Justin, aye.
Motion carries. Moving on to Parks and Rec, Stacy, you would do the update?
Yeah, do you guys have any questions on the update? Go through some of the stuff last week.
Elevator down?
Inspection Thursday.
Probably more weeks of the volleyball. We're trying to every weekend. What happened to the today's market?
I think the tournament, the league's ours, and so that's the difference in terms of like tournament on a day that isn't ours, league that is ours, is kind of where we separated it in terms of the two. Does that make sense? But volleyball league is ours, run by us versus the league.
Right,
That's
two tournaments.
One tournament a weekend. It's still technically what we're doing. It's just a league offset.
So we have 3 more weeks about all that.
Correct.
So
So this weekend we'll have double again, we have tournament Saturday, league
So
on
that's
Sunday
3 weeks.
morning. And then, the following week, I don't think we have a tournament that for 2 or 3 weeks, so we should be done with the 2 days. That makes sense. Until Iowa games for us too. It's hard to have enough gym time, like, to be super popular, want to run more,
I just don't want to do this, we don't love the amount of, I don't want people.
so I love
So
to
it's
see
really
it
never taking rest on it.
Yeah.
It's-
hard as that whole line to navigate. It's also awesome to see it, so like Sunday mornings to see our program and then upstairs full of everything full. It's cool to see too,
it's lovely.
yeah. And so right along with that, memberships are up astronomically from even the same period last year. So like 50 higher than we were this time last year, so memberships do continue to rise as well, so it is something we'll have to keep paying attention to.
Do you guys ever figure out, is there a max number that is the space for? That's one members, if that makes sense.
No, it does make sense. I mean, so I kind of pitch it now, like I still have companies and stuff approach me, you know, like, hey, do we want to do a membership push or, you know, whatever. I very much like feel like aiming towards certain demographics is the only thing that I'm kind of wanting to do, if that makes sense, and push the demographics that I normally utilize during the days, morning/day versus people next weekends, because I feel like that's where we're tight, if that makes sense. So I think putting it in the run is going to be difficult because
The right number is awful.
correct. Correct. I was gonna say,
Fundraiser, you're gonna do with the trunk or treat for the park.
so I was gonna say, so we didn't do, well, so we did the trucks that were there, we're supposed to give back to. Last I heard, Sean made contact them, they said they're gonna send checks, I guess, Marcy, you don't happen to know where that's.
I have no idea.
I know
I'll make a
some
note to
emails,
ask her.
They said they're gonna send checks, I don't know. As far as actually there, I didn't take any like physical donations. But I did answer a ton of questions regarding the park, gave out a lot of our pamphlets with people that were interested in both what we're doing at the park and possibly donations as well, so it was good. It was good to kind of see the people from Piasta look at it and like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize that was happening with it, like, there was a lot of those conversations, it was good, yeah.
So a successful event.
I think that is, I mean, it was amazing, yeah, I think, the turnout for the trade was spectacular. I think we got well over 500 kids. It was more than what they were thought.
And hope that why was one there or something that those.
To do fairgrounds.
Have a good day.
They postponed, so yes, I don't know, how many or how many less we would have gotten had they done it, but regardless, business is for happy, people are happy, it was,
Else for Stacy, anybody?
I was gonna say one more thing.
Oh.
There's, sorry. I just as FYI, like with some of the new equipment and stuff that's coming, there are gonna be some days where we have to close down like the weight room and stuff on the new weight room equipment. I don't have, I met with the gentleman we purchased the stuff here today, to kind of talk about layout and that kind of stuff and how we're gonna go about doing it, but he just still doesn't have like a firm date. So I'm gonna put out there like a generic, hey, just so you know, through 2 or 3 days, we have to close the weight room to get the stuff in, just because there's so many pieces that are moving in and out. And then when they're hammered down, they actually put it out there. So also another wrinkle in this that people would not be super happy about us closing it down, but we're trying to do as fast as possible.
That's a good start too. That would be a good start.
So today he thought, I'm thinking beginning of December. Is going to be to do it, and I'm guessing holiday close means they also don't have people.
Possibly need some equipment to another area.
I tried all of that, like the last thing I wanted to do was say close it, and he essentially was like, there's no way to get around this and have people in there and still have it be safe with how much stuff they're bringing in. How much we're talking.
Not like in the separate room, batting cages or something. Right. I mean, not a full, but I mean, move some treadmill.
Oh, like to have like a makeshift.
Yeah. But not 100%.
Oh, they, how many trails, how many people want to
Yeah,
I mean, trail, well, track.
And that's when I started trying to move sense. We're just opening ourselves up to.
Next door.
Into the meeting room.
Then the meeting. Rubber. Fire. Wait, that one necessarily.
Yeah, and like I said, he knows that I want to do it. As fast as possible. As
Yeah.
much as possible.
One day,
I think he was thinking at least 2 days is what he was thinking.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to do all the things. Okay, so can we do it where you guys are obviously gonna leave at a certain point, can we leave it in the way that everything's open at 4 p.m., or whatever. We didn't love the idea, but I'm still gonna try. So I'll get it all nailed down and have it out there as far as when and what is officially closing the day we start. Like we'll stay open until 8 and then, close it from 8 to whatever. I will figure all that out.
It's 2 days, it's 2 days. Oh, yeah.
I don't know if they work. Well, so they said a lot of the stuff is in Minneapolis, the way for the more pieces, and that's what the Cedar Rapids, so it'll be here. A lot of pieces are already close to being in, yeah, so no, it will not be, like, if so, it does,
3 days.
Yeah,
6
no.
weeks,
no, so if there are pieces.
Sounds more like a construction project.
There is one piece that if they said is back order, the same thing, 1 or 2 pieces is gonna be, we will do it just like we've done every other year, we'll do a lot of it, just kind of work around people, like it's not gonna be a big deal, it's just that it's so much. Not possible. Yeah, that's helpful, that's helpful. So, like I said, I've heard a lot of people, even members that have chosen against becoming a member of the community center because of our equipment, I mean, I do believe that will. It's worth it. So.
Or you turn it, what are you doing with that?
Hold on, that for sale sign, that was. So yeah, I sold our old spin bikes, tomorrow I'm actually gonna put the sale signs on our punching bags and then sale signs on pieces of equipment that are goalies. Punching bag. And then,
John, could you go in? Could you go to the cat's office every day?
so same thing, I'm gonna put it on, so when we got the 3/4 stuff that's in there now, replaced it with universal, we sold all of that, so I have names to start with, I definitely have a couple names that I know people are interested in pieces, so. And then he actually gave me a name, the guy I met with today, that would buy pretty much everything else, so I told him I was gonna try to sell it myself first, and then, because I know some people would be mad if I can at least offer. And then sell it to him, so that we don't have stuff.
Good. Fine, thanks, Stacy.
Chief, my, what I'm gonna tell you is not gonna be as eventful as what seems. You guys have my reports and everything, but, you know, the only thing I can really tell you is that trick or treating went fine, there's no issues, obviously, probably because of the weather, it was cold. And the other thing I just wanted to bring up was the Riley House burn, we're gonna do that November 25th, I don't know if we're gonna touch on that or not. But, you know, the house over there that the city has purchased, Riley's house, we're gonna do, fire department's gonna, do some training in it this weekend. And then on the 25th, I think it was 18th to 19th that we're doing that, right?
Correct.
Yeah, and then on the 25th, 2 days after Thanksgiving, that will be the burn. They're gonna go there and train in the morning from roughly 7:30, 8 o'clock till about 10 o'clock. And then they're gonna light up the house around 10 a.m. So what we are gonna do, we're gonna provide traffic control in that area. If we have to close down the street, we will. Depends on how much flames and how big it gets. So now I'm gonna be open here hopefully soon.
All right,
I will have to
stop.
I may have to close it down for a short time, just to let you guys know that. Right. So yeah, we're gonna have to maybe close it down for a short time. It'll go fast. That house will burn probably within 20 minutes or less, but we'll try to get people around it as much as possible, but safety comes first. When it comes to that. Other than that, definitely support it.
Are we gonna put up a zone for spectators? It sounds kind of like a neat event.
Yeah, you can sit right in the PD parking lot if you want.
There you go. There you go.
Bring the marshmallows.
That's right.
Exactly. Can't get that close, probably.
Well, smaller.
There you go.
All right, thanks, Chief. Dean, you're up.
Sure. Any questions on the report?
The parking lot, what's the next step there and when is that?
I want to refer to,
The kind of tell us.
that's pretty much the baseball yet. I think our main focus is gonna be, the playground area and then the trail.
Okay.
Which is what is,
Yeah, I mean, that was definitely only phase one of the parking lot, so phase one. Yeah, complete. We thought was we don't want to go further than that until heavy stuff is off the parking lot before, so we were looking at. So yeah, I mean, we have another meeting next week, but I think our next phase we're looking at doing was the walking path, and depending on money that comes in.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll work on, but, yeah.
Playground, pretty much.
So here, we had one part of that.
So next, will be a trail.
Hopefully, yes, I mean, so talking to, what's his name, Jake, we're supposed to talk more about the walking path here shortly. I don't know how much money we have for the base of the playground, with our triggers and that kind of stuff, that's one of the things I was gonna put, we check that for next week, just so everyone knows kind of where money's at, where we've had money for that. Need to focus / where we have money to spend.
it actually did turn out pretty amazing. It was nice.
Yes.
Very, very much appreciated. Everyone's over there. That we focused on the west ravine this week as well. I got that seeded down temporarily. The piles for the most part. Cleaned up. So it's coming around. A lot of improvements in town. Jim Ginger and Kansas Circle, obviously got, resurfaced, so that turned out really nice. Shouldn't be any complaints on that end of town, as far as that goes, other than the detours. I was gonna say that. So, yeah. Hopefully everybody can patiently wait, a couple additional days and get the majority of the project wrapped up.
Perfect. Anything else?
Dean, I have a question.
Sure.
Just educate me a little bit. But when you say charge and flush the water mains, is that basically turning them on? Or activating them with the rest of the system?
So yeah, that's on new construction.
Yeah,
Needs to take place. You fill the main. They incorporate chlorine with that when they do the installation. It sits for 24 hours, for a minimum of 24 hours. To eat all the bacteria. And then that all gets flushed, everything that's in there gets flushed, and then samples get sent away. I guess prior to sending samples away and flushing, pressure testing takes place. And then the samples get sent away into either Dubuque County or the city of Dubuque for bacteria testing.
okay. So then are those two water mains active then now?
They are active, yeah.
Okay, excellent. Great, thank you.
Thank you. Mayor's report, I talked with, AJ on Friday after our work session Thursday night. Just shared with them some kind of generic numbers as far as the company that may be looking to move out to the Dean South. And said that it's, pending more information. He's still, kind of planning towards that, not really giving me any further information about who it may or may not be. But, hopefully, as that progresses, we can work something out so that this company wants to stay in the office. I think that's the goal here. I think from his standpoint, our standpoint, and the company's standpoint, I think the goal is to stay here. So, that's as much as I have to report, and we've got some numbers and we're okay with it. So, see how that goes. I talked to Captain Dave at the Salvation Army. Just depending on what day we want to do it, he'll drop us a kettle off and wherever we want to go. And then we can take it back. So anybody who is interested in doing that, shoot me an email that you are interested and dates. And I'm gonna say Saturday or Sunday or something. I don't really have anything in mind with 3 or 4 dates. But that,
It's gonna be a Saturday.
gotta be a Saturday.
We decided we were doing it fairly, right?
Oh, if we do it at Fairway. Yeah, I mean, if that's,
That would be good.
that would be the best place.
That's first.
So then we talked about the work session, we probably have, too, Salvation Army. The cities are doing a kind of competition.
So can we move it around throughout town?
Yeah, we can probably do whatever we want.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's okay with whatever we want.
Just a thought,
Yeah.
we're complicated.
Right. I don't know, if we want to do more than one day, if we want to, I can talk to him, he's being pretty open to whatever we want to do. He's like, let me know, and I'll drop off the stuff.
I just want to chemical.
Yeah.
So Mayor, does he contact the businesses to let them know that you'll be there?
I can clarify that
Okay.
with him, prior to it. And whether he does or we do, so.
Sure.
And Mayor, did you say between which date timeframes he's asking us to do it?
He did not give me a time frame, Brian. I'm just asking people to kind of give me dates that they'd be available, and we can kind of work out whether it's one weekend or maybe a couple weekends. That we could do something, just to kind of give it a good effort. So just send me an email with dates that would look good for you at this point, and everyone else, and we'll kind of try and work out a schedule from there.
And probably after Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah, I would say after Thanksgiving, since that's next week.
Okay. Got it.
Sometimes they do, I've seen them off go. Yeah, so. The last item I was talking with, Spencer over at Paco. He's gonna approach the Paco board about, possibly coming up with a donation towards the park. Drop off the information to him. So he's kind of working on that right now, and we'll see how that goes. I know he had asked me if we had any numbers from any accounts, if they'd asked him that. So unfortunately, no, I have no numbers for you right now. Is it just you can't tell me? No, I have no numbers for it. So, so I think we'll kind of start pushing that if we can. Yeah, that's what I told him. I told him the Tobacco Pavilion connected to the Tobacco Trail. It sounded really good. So anyway, so,
That was the ATM out there.
So those are some of the things I've been working on. And we'll put that in. And we'll move on. Next up then, resolution setting the date of meeting in which it is proposed to approve a development agreement with either hardware, including annual appropriation of tax increment. No, and then you had shared some of that information with us.
Yes, at the work session and in my weekly summaries, this was just one of those agreements that lost in transition from when Whitney had left, Doug came aboard, and then with me coming on board. So we want to kind of get this pushed through because we want to certify it December 1st. And then start to get our payments starting next June. So I'd like to set the public hearing for 11/28/23.
I'll make a motion to set the public hearing for Steve Case development agreement on November 28th, 2023.
I'll second.
Brian, I.
Okay.
Justin and I.
Motion carries. Resolution approving gas community center hall and improvement project pay estimate order number 6. Submitted by Tricon. Hello. Need to answer any questions?
I knew Jacob wouldn't be here tonight. I thought Steve would be, so. He's on the food now, so.
Not on the motion. I'll make a motion to approve, that's the community center. All of the, yes, number 6.
I'll second it.
Brian, I.
Justin and I.
Motion carries. Resolution approving Council Community Center City Hall improvement project change order number 7, submitted by Tricon.
My only question on this one, if I can ask Mr. Mayor, number one, just the fire alarm system devices, is that because we expanded the scope of what they were gonna place per the original design?
That is correct.
Okay. Cause I saw on the pay estimate that we just approved, we were, we've got a ways to go on the fire alarm systems yet, so. Just wanted to make sure those were like separate scope items.
Thank you, sir. Any other questions about this change order? Need a motion to approve.
What's your chance to get your name on the last few?
I'll make a motion to approve the Piasta Community Center City Hall Improvement Project change order number 7, submitted by Tricon.
I'll second.
Brian, I.
Okay.
Justin and I.
Motion carries. Resolution approving pay estimate number 3 being paid for the terminal project. Approved for payments.
Yeah, is anybody in motion? Make a motion to approve pay estimate number 3, Fairlane Drive.
Second.
Brian, I.
Yeah.
Justin and I.
Motion carries. Resolution purchase parcel 14153260002 for public purposes within the city limits of the city of Piasta. This is the property, that we will use for the next water.
And I want to remind everybody that this resolution is only authorizing us to move forward. We still need to get approval from DNR, which I talked to earlier today, Steve Thompson, and he said he would follow up with them.
This money is from the bond, right?
This money is part of it's going to be part of the SRF loan that we're going to get. So we'll probably have to transfer out and then hear something back.
Annette, what is it that the DNR has to approve? The acceptability of the site to use for water or something else?
Yeah, they have to, is it the Jordan office?
Variances and distances of existing businesses, separations from the well.
Okay,
I don't think there's any of us, Brian, that thinks that's going to be an issue of them denying it at this point.
yeah, we don't think we're gonna hit a snag or something with the location of it.
I'm sorry?
It's all contingent on that anyway.
Yes. If that's what was in the contract.
What was his question? Can you repeat his question?
He was asking if, he was just making a statement that's all contingent on DNR approval anyway.
The purchase.
Okay. Yeah, good.
I need a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve parcel 14153260001 for public purposes within the city of Piasta water tower project.
I'll second.
Brian, I.
Thanks, Jack.
Dustin, aye.
Motion carries.
For the record. we want to make sure-
14153260002.
Two.
Resolution approving and adopting the city of Piasta internal control policy. At this time, we are going to take no action, because if you would have looked at the actual document, it was the draft, and then our items that are not plugged
I
in.
had too much caffeine that day, I'm sorry.
So we will do no action on this evening.
And I was gonna ask on this too, did the initial draft of this generate with our auditors or an accounting firm, or did we pattern it after another municipality?
This was basically brought out of the S&P rating. That's something that they thought that we should have, you know, itinerary. So
Yeah.
That's a direct result of that.
I think are you asking about the actual document itself, Brian?
Yeah, did we have to generate this from scratch, Marcy, or did we have something to go on?
I had it from another city, Brian, so I incorporated it, changed the names, etc.
Okay,
Had staff review it, and that's what some of the highlighted areas are in there.
I saw that. And I understand we're not taking any action, but my request will be, once we do approve it, or even better, before we approve it, it'd be nice to have our auditors look at it. To make sure we're not missing anything. I didn't see anything pop out that was obvious to me, but it'd be good to have an auditor review.
It is something that they were looking for, or asking if we had in the audit, so I'm sure that Dustin would be happy to look it over once we have a draft. See if there's anything that, like you said, that we're missing that they're looking for.
Great
Good.
suggestion.
Yeah, good idea.
Yeah. This is a pretty important area. This is a place where we can get sideways if we don't do it right, so. It's good.
All right, moving on. Resolution approving the Piasta Community Center biohazard policy. Accepted by the work session last Thursday. I don't have any questions at this point.
I'll just make a comment. It doesn't sound very fun.
That's why you're in charge, Brian.
No, thanks. Yeah,
And then we'll need a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve the proposed Piasta Community Center biohazard policy.
I'll second it.
Brian, I.
Dustin, I.
Motion carries. Resolution adopting the Butte County multi-jurisdictional local hazard mitigation plan.
As I mentioned at the work session, this is something that they revise over 3 to 5 years, I think, and it's pretty important to have, so that way if we have a catastrophe, then we can show we have a plan in place and it'll speed up the funding or reimbursement process in the event of a catastrophic event.
Finland project. Sorry.
Sorry.
Too early, too soon?
That's the next one, Gavin.
Make a motion to adopt the Butte County multi-jurisdictional local hazard mitigation plan.
Brian, I.
Dustin, I.
Go ahead.
Motion carries. Next, resolution approving the plat of surveying of the Stephen subdivision terminal.
This had to go before planning and zoning last night, so we need this document to have it recorded.
This got a clean recommendation from zoning.
Yes, it did.
Okay.
And Ray and Rosie even approved it, so.
Even better. I'll make a motion. We approve the plat of survey of the Stevens subdivision turn lane project.
You're up, Brad.
Sorry, I didn't hear the second. Probably got garbled. Brian, I.
Dustin, I.
Go ahead.
Motion carries.
Who had the second there? Thank you.
She didn't hear it either then. There you go.
That's why I'm taking notes.
You got your back, Brian.
I'm trying hard, man. I'm trying.
Next up, fee resolution adding investigation fee. Which again, we discussed earlier.
I'm sorry, I wasn't there. Thursday. What's the purpose of the investigation?
Well, we actually have it in our code of ordinances, so if we're saying that we're doing it in the ordinance, we should probably have some kind of need to go back onto the contractor, they don't pull a permit. There's been a few instances where we've had a contractor come in, or we found out that they've already done the project and never pulled a permit. So therefore, this kind of, it just doubles the cost of the permit. And kind of teaches them, I guess, a little bit of a lesson.
More directed at contractors done that way.
Not if people that are doing like hot water heaters.
If you remember back a couple months ago, we brought this up, and then when we did a little more research, we actually found that our ordinance does actually have something established. If you look at the work session agenda, there is a piece of that ordinance that states that we do have an investigation fee. It just does, and it can be up to double. We're just now adding it to the resolution for our list of fees, if that kind of makes sense.
And John, we did talk about just having sensitivity to Mr. Joe homeowner that, you know, isn't aware versus contractors that are well aware of what they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, we had somebody call in a rush the other day for a CO because they had to come in with a plumbing permit because they're closing on their mortgage and the contractor had for the plumbing.
Good.
So we had to rush around and get it done and get Craig to approve it. So it's kind of basically saying, hey, you know better, you know.
And it also just changes the priority of the city staff. They run around solving somebody else's problem
Exactly.
versus doing things in routine order.
Make motion, to approve the resolution.
I'll second it.
Brian, I.
Dustin, I.
Go ahead. Jerry.
Motion carries. Moving on, ordinance amending the Title 6 Physical Environment, Chapter 5 Utilities Refuse Collection. Bulk pickup.
John, this is another item we discussed at the work session, and we had, a resident that was taking way too much advantage of the bulk pickup by bringing stuff from outside the city in and having it, be expected to be picked up. So this basically gives you examples of what we pick up and, the restrictions on that. And then I would ask if we could waive the second, third reading. Jerry, last time.
Motion to approve the meeting.
Title 6, physical environment, chapter 5 utilities refuse collection. All pickup.
I'll second. Brian, I.
Yeah.
Justin, I.
Go ahead, Terry.
Carried, the motion to waive the second and third reading.
I'll make a motion to waive the second, third reading.
I'll second it.
Brian, I.
Okay.
Justin, I.
Go ahead. Terry.
Motion carries, I need a motion to approve.
Adopt.
Adopt the ordinance.
I'll make a motion to adopt.
I'll second it.
Brian, I.
Yeah.
Justin, I.
Go ahead, Terry.
Motion carries. Back up for citizen comment. You still citizen?
Yeah.
All right, we'll close citizen comment. I'll need a motion, Jerry, to close the session, close the meeting.
Where's your hat?
I'll second.
I'll just thank Jerry for his service to the city of Piasta.
Vote on that.
Yeah, we still need to vote.
We still need to vote, Brian.
Brian, I.
All right, thank you.
Justin, I.
Go ahead, Terry.
Meeting adjourned.